Once again, a request video covering a range of topics this time. Suggestions once again coming from TheCommunalSolution, one of my subscribers. Hello to you, hope you're doing well. First topic, usury, not just the traditional definition. Lending money at unreasonably high rates of interest, but the charging of any interest at all. So, traditional definition. I'm against usury, as almost everyone is, not a controversial point there. We have a big problem in this country with wildly exploitative lenders and credit card companies saddling people with crippling debts. A lot of what passes as acceptable borrowing and lending doesn't sit well with me at all. Making money from money, this practice, essentially forms of speculation, is driving the global economy. We have an extremely powerful financial banking class, unrestricted as to how much money they can lend and thus how much new credit they can create. There is clear motivation for governments to allow their citizens to get into more and more debt. Ever increasing borrowing, lending, restricted only by the lender's willingness to lend. Rich get richer, poor get deeper into the red. This has to be reined in at some point, or it will lead to collapse, and it will bring many to ruin. It takes not a genius to see this. The system can't achieve long-term stability. A healthy economy has to be based on diverse and sustainable production and consumption, with an emphasis on people before profit. Human well-being should be of a higher concern, along with environmental conservation. But I'm not against lending in the absolute sense, and I'm not against charging interest in line with inflation, strictly in line. My personal stance is I don't lend, I don't borrow. I like to keep it simple. Far stricter laws need to exist on the lending, borrowing front, in my view. But that's not going to happen under the current system because the banks are too powerful and many politicians are bought and paid for. Next topic, the asking of people to procreate only at a regional or global sustainable level. I think people should be educated to procreate responsibly in the schools and using the media. People need to be made very aware that we only have one planet with limited resources, and we have to think and act long term. Encouraging smaller families, promoting the use of contraceptives, improving the status of women, even promoting abstinence in some circumstances. These things I support. A heavy-handed approach to population control won't work. It doesn't work. A lesson from history, if we care to learn it. Okay, last but by no means least, the prohibiting of refined and non-organic food. I take it by non-organic you mean genetically modified food crops. Well, in the West, all over the world actually, people are in the habit of eating a lot of over-processed crap. Too much sugar, too much salt, too much fat. Yeah, we have an obesity problem in this country, as they do in many other countries. Heart problems, diabetes, many problems not just caused by bad diet, but by lack of exercise and a sit-down, do-nothing or next-to-nothing lifestyle. But I don't think processed food itself is necessarily bad in moderation. Depends on the product you're talking about. personally, I'd encourage people to buy more organic, and the option does exist now for many, and the information is there too, for people to get clued up about what they consume, how it's made. Ethical choices based on the facts. That's surely how we should all do our shopping, right? But overconsumption and physical as well as intellectual laziness are problems we need to overcome moving forward. As far as GM foods go, I'm concerned about the gulf in risk assessment between countries. That's one concern. Gene transfer is another. We're told the risk is low. Environmental damage is obviously a worry. Risk assessments should be of the most rigorous standard, but we have to admit that we don't know of the potential for hidden dangers and long-term negative consequences. We simply don't know. We can't see into the future. We don't have that luxury. Having said that, I don't believe it is sensible or fair to make sweeping generalizations about GM food safety. We're talking about advanced, very sophisticated engineering here, and we have to view genetically modified organisms individually, see and judge produce with an open mind, and don't let preconceptions or biases mislead us. So I wouldn't be in favour of an outright ban on all refined or non-organic foods. I favour the professional agency dealing with products on a case-by-case basis approach. Anyway, thank you for your suggestions. More suggestions on any topics you like are welcome from any of my subscribers at all. I'll take into due consideration whatever comes my way. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you folks in a week's time. Until then, take care of yourselves.